Stay there. Do not come anywhere close to us. We'll consider you obstructing us. You can be under arrest or detained. Do you understand that? Is obstruction physical? Your ridiculous questions are so annoying. I'm not going to entertain that.
What's Section 3 of the
Canadian
Charter of Rights and Freedoms?
End of story.
What's Section 3
called hashtag they don't know?
They don't know.
Nope.
They don't.
Well, we're getting some accumulation, which means that we should see a steady drop in temperature over the next 2 days. It is a pretty slippery snow. Almost fell crossing the street twice. And if we observe the flakes, we'll see that they aren't flakes at all. It's more like clumps of a crystalline fiber. These somewhat resemble a protein, perhaps. As we can see, it's a sticky snow, if you want to call it snow. A sticky, fibrous concoction that could pass as snow to the unobservant, like the billions and the zillionists. What comes first, the rain and the cold, or the rain and the snow, or the cold?
You know, I think they're a marriage that need each other.
Yeah?
I think so.
Do you think that there's been a change in this dynamic recently?
Tell me more, what do you mean?
Well, I seem to have noticed that the temperatures seem to decrease only after precipitation.
Ah, that's a really good point. Yes, that's very valid. I think this year it feels like that.
I think last year especially as well, I was noticing it.
Huh. You know, what do you think that's about?
Well, there's somebody who claims to have done research on it, and it's a chemical ice nucleating element. So that means that as it falls, it's evaporating and not melting, and it's creating a cold, dense air layer on the surface to simulate a cool down.
And is that happening in other parts of the world?
It is.
It is.
Yep.
Is it all part of the change of what's happening in our world in terms of climate?
I think it's a change in what humans have been doing. We're seeding the clouds with these elements. You can see the jets spraying.
Yep, the white line of the jets.
Yeah, that those have been tested, and these elements have been found.
And why do you think they're doing that?
It's to simulate a winter cool down that wouldn't otherwise be happening. So we get we had rain overnight, right?
Yes.
And now we're having the snow, and now we're going to see a temperature decrease over the next couple days. And then days without precipitation after the first is about a 3 degrees Celsius increase.
I'm gonna look out for that now. Why do you think they want to do that? Why do they want to simulate that?
Well, we need a winter. The animals need the penumbra, right, to hide from predators. And also, it would be pretty demoralizing, I think. If you notice, it pretty much now snows, like the first real snow happens before around Christmas.
Yep.
And so people want that white Christmas. And if it's consistently not being seen year after year, then people are going to start to clue in a bit more about what's going on. Just a theory.
It's a really good theory, and it's a pretty scary one. And all I can say is, we're going to have to really meditate on the nature of things and go deep in our own experience to understand true nature. Because if they're simulating things, then we're not getting reality. We're getting some form of some pseudo-reality.
And what I would love is to just know what it is.
Me too.
Like, we see the jet spraying, obviously it's not condensation.
No. What is that? What are they spraying?
Yeah, it's been tested. Aluminum, strontium, barium, desiccants, surfactants, and it's graphene, nano, and it's on the nano level as well. So we're breathing it in, it's going into our brain.
Do a lot of pranayama. Do a lot of conscious
Yoga.
breathing. Do a lot of conscious breathing, a lot of meditation in these times. That's what we're here for. And I think we're being called to go deeper. You know, this is happening on that side, and we're also going deeper. And there's an underground mushroom that's happening with a lot of people that's becoming very, very conscious.
There's a shift in consciousness happening.
Please, let's also talk about that, because what you're saying is so scary and dangerous and saddening to me. And I love that you know the science behind it.
Since I was born, the Earth's cloud layer has increased from around 40% to around 67% was the last number that came out. It's been increasing pretty much each year. So there's now almost twice as many clouds as when I was born.
When I was growing up here, we had forts in early November that were high like this. And that's a very also telling sign of what's going on. But you know, I'm really glad you're doing the science behind it. Please keep talking to people.
Yeah, and people call it chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
But I like to prefer to use the scientific terms, like jet dispersed aerosol.
Jet dispersed aerosol is my new word.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to share your information.
And thanks for speaking with me.
Oh, dear.
Most people don't have much to say. That cold's hard on the hands. With the desiccants in the snow drying our hands out. I'd prefer if it was a wet cold, but it's not. It's a dry cold. It's pulling the moisture out of us and the warmth along with it.
Fuck Justin Trudeau.
Fuck Justin Trudeau.
Freedom is a must.
Freedom is a must.
Stay strong, citizens.